This is with two players who aren't doing very well, Praggnanandhaa and Gukesh. And I think this might have been Gukesh's first good result after lots of blunders. Go Gukesh. I did a lecture on Gukesh. Like, I don't know, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so they played symmetrical English. And then d4 was played. I've had white and black in this position, but it's been many, many years. To prevent bishop b4, white played the slow a3. And that indicates that white wants to play e4, but doesn't want to deal with bishop b4. And that's what happened. Then he played the knight back to f3. He has this bind, and he doesn't want to trade pieces. And he wants to play e5, so his knight's defending e5. Queen a5, pinning the knight and stopping it. Bishop d2. Queen h5, put it in h. And he plays rook g1 because that's what Karen would play. Now, rook g1's not a good move, but it's theory. This is preparation because the players were playing fast. So white wants to push his pawn here, and the queen has not a lot of squares to go to. d5. I remember the players were playing fast here, so this is their prep. So equal material. F pawn is hanging. And he plays queen e2. This is funny. So if you take this, watch this tactic. You watching? I just take it. You win my queen, and then I play knight f6 check, winning your queen.
Oh, okay.
And queen e2 is the best move, and it was played so quickly, it's still his prep. You can see he's only used like 4 or 5 minutes on his clock, and they're at move 14. But he played this really fast, so he must have known this. Then black played the best move, another move that seems very unlikely. $20 from Puzzle Pawn.
Yay. Hey, Puzzle Pawn.
Did you eat the legendary pea soup at Vike? I did. How was it? It was okay. Good question. It's 30 years ago. Okay, so now, remember that trick I just showed you? White played knight f6 check. So black played f5. Now you can't play knight f6 check. So now I'm threatening to take this, and this opens up the center to white's king. And again, the players were playing pretty quickly, so I think they knew this. Tooth hurts described. The tooth hurts. Okay, then knight f4. That's the best move, attacking the queen. Queen goes to f7. Rook to g2. Now the engine hates rook to g2. So I guess they're out of their prep now. As you can see, 115. So he's out of his prep. And he wants him to castle queenside and says it's about equal. Well, it's a crazy, crazy position. This move's too slow and is bad. Thanks, Sven Weingold. Did you see the pea soup scene from The Exorcist? Probably. I mean, but it was 1,000 years ago.
Projectile vomiting.
Okay, so now, after rook g2, now Praggnanandhaa blundered. F takes e4 is very strong for black. And actually, white has to play knight g5 here. If you play queen takes e4, winding up your queen and king, then rook e8 is easily winning. And after knight g5, the engine says black is winning by playing queen f5, defending his knight and attacking this knight. And it really hates his position here. It gives this really complicated tactic. Probably both players saw this. Takes, check, winning the bishop. Takes this. And now black can play rook f5, which maybe the players missed. Forking here. And this should be winning for black. So instead of taking on e4 and probably having a winning position, he played queen e7. And now after e5, white is probably better. Knight e5, long castle. And black is up a pawn, but white doesn't mind being down that pawn because he has this attack. The bishop's coming to c3. This bishop's not very good. The rook's not very good. So this actually is better for white. Bishop d6, bishop c3. That's a nice bishop on c3. Takes. Bishop e6. Put it in h. The engine doesn't like this move. It wants to take the bishop and then play h3. Personally, I don't see a difference. Let's see what the difference is. He made a horrible blunder here, losing immediately. So after h3, let me refresh. Always refresh. I break the computer sometimes when whoa. I blame chess.com because I don't want to blame myself. Okay, after h3, we can stop knight takes e6 by taking on f4 and then play knight f6. And the engine says black is okay here. And instead, he played bishop e5, double question mark. Now that's a complicated move. Your knight's attacked, and you play bishop e5. Now here's his idea. He wants to take the bishop. If you take with the queen, rook c8 pins. If you take with the pawn, queen takes a3 check. So he thought, you can't take my knight because I'll take your bishop on c3 and you can't really take back. And if you take this, then I'll take back attacking your queen. Again, the problem with all of that is after knight takes e6, which is correct, if you take with the queen, you can't play queen takes a3 check anymore in that variation I was showing you after bishop takes, pawn takes. So after knight takes, white is now winning. And then he takes, then takes with the pawn. And when the queen was on e7, queen takes a3 was good.
All right.
Now white's just up a piece. So bad calculation for Praggnanandhaa. And he played down a piece for a long time. Because, you know, it's complicated, I guess. He's down a piece, though. Check. He checked him a couple times. That's pretty good. Rook g8 is a bad move, it says, but because it allows mate. Bishop c4. Queen here, threatening rook here mate, and queen here mate. And here he resigned because he's out of checks. But he probably should have resigned like 30 moves ago. So basically, there was a lot of tactics between moves 15 and 20. And for reasons I don't understand, Praggnanandhaa didn't see them very well. He missed something that was really good for him, and he blundered with bishop e5, allowing knight e6 winning. So very un-Praggnanandhaa-like. But again, chess isn't a draw. Chess is complicated. And Gukesh was having a bad tournament, and you would think Praggnanandhaa really tried to win with black to punish the guys at the bottom, but he didn't play a good game. And Praggnanandhaa, the first 7-8 rounds was doing great, then it just turned around. The last 4 rounds have been bad for him. The truth hurts.
It's cold down here.
Is it? I had coffee and long sleeve shirt. I was okay. How much ELO do you have in Bullet? I don't know. How much do you have? 4,500 viewers. What else?